Hi everyone, I'm Eric Brooks with Alpine Electronics, and today I want to give you an inside look at our R-Series shallow subwoofers and why they are so great and why you should get them for your vehicle. So let's check it out. So the R-Series subs have a long lineage of great performance. They started back in the early 2000s with what was known as Type R. Well, Type R, through the generations, added technologies and benefits to them that gave us reliable, great output performance in our vehicle for subwoofers. Well, the thing about subwoofers are most of them are very, very big, right? They're very deep. They take up a lot of space. Well, we've now introduced the latest generation of R-Series shallow subs, and these are very shallow and they give us great bass performance. So I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and talk about some of the features and some of the things that make these subwoofers so wonderful. So I'm going to come on around. I'm going to talk to you about this 12-inch shallow sub. So first off, what you'll notice is this is an aluminum cone, right? So it's very lightweight, it's very rigid, which means this thing can move in and out very, very quickly, and it won't have much distortion, right? So we can get reliable, long, great output, great feedback, right, for years. So that's the first thing you'll notice is that aluminum cone. Now, with the aluminum cone, it is very lightweight, it is very rigid, but it's also very sensitive. So we make a grill available for this. So you take this panel off here, you get one of our grills, you put it on, and then this holds everything together, right? So I would highly suggest if you do one of these subs, you do a grill, all right, to protect that cone. Now, let's talk about some other cool things about this. Number one, you'll see this really large surround. Okay, and you'll see inside here this this motor structure with the spider. I'm moving the spider now, and what it does, it has a lot of movement, and that spider really keeps great control over this thing as it moves in and out. What that does, it gives us, again, reliable playback and a lot of output. Actually, so much output that this subwoofer moves more volume of air than many of the competitors on the market. So it really sounds great, and it gives us great output and bass. This thing moves up to 20 millimeters of excursion, right? So it can move in and out up to 20 millimeters, which happens to be the same amount of movement that you'll find in our standard R-Series subs, right? So you'll get as much bass out of this shallow sub as you do out of our full-size subwoofers. So this thing has some really cool technologies in it. It uses neodymium magnets, which are very strong, very small magnets that are inside this motor. It also has something that's an Alpine technology called DD linear. That's a dual gap motor structure. And what that does is it gives us a very linear response, a very musical response, and very reliable playback out of this subwoofer. So it has great sound and very low distortion. So that's DD linear. This thing also has a massive 4-inch voice coil. This thing is huge. It gives us great reliability and great musical playback. So those are some things that you'll see inside this woofer, along with these cooling fins inside and some other cool stuff. Something in the structure you'll notice is there's this ridge, right here on the edge of the basket. What this allows us to do is if you're building an enclosure, you can actually use this woofer to internally brace the box, right? You cut a hole that's the same diameter as this inner ring, and then you can mount your box to this flange, right? So it gives you internal bracing within the box. And all the instructions on that are in the owner's manual to give you the cutout dimensions. So it's a really cool way to, number one, get a shallower box and add rigidity, right? For better performance. So that's the raw driver. So we're gonna go back around here. So some guys like to build their own enclosures, right? They wanna build a custom box for their own vehicle, and you can do that using our shallow subs. We have 10s and 12s, and they're available in a dual 2 or a dual 4 ohm voice coil. So you can match them up with whatever amp you want. Now, I would suggest using our R2A75M for a single one of these. They sound great. Okay, so that's that. That's our raw driver. We have them in 10s and 12s with different impedance configurations. Now, For the guy that doesn't want to build a box, they want to have a great performance, just pull it out, put it in their vehicle, and be ready to roll, this is the enclosure for you. So this is our R-Series shallow enclosure. I'm going to show you just a few things about this enclosure that really make it special. Now, keep in mind, it uses the same driver that we just talked about, those R-Series shallow drivers, right? And it has that in this box. So number one, what you'll see is this thing is very flat, right? Very slim, and the woofer does not protrude from the front of the enclosure, right? So we don't lose space from a grill sticking out from the front of the box. You'll see on the back here, you'll see this magnet exposed, like I explained with the raw driver, this flange, and what it does, again, it braces internally the enclosure. So when you have a box that has a long span like this, and you're producing a lot of bass, the problem is you can get flex in that enclosure, which lessens your output. Well, what we're doing here is we're making sure that this box is very rigid, so you're not losing any performance from box flex. You're getting all the energy of the woofer coming out right from the cone. Okay, now this can be used in different configurations, right? We have these rubberized feet with spacers. So you can take these and you can put them on the front of the box and fire it down. You can put them on the back of the box and fire it up, or you can leave it off and leave the enclosure standing up just like this, right? And whatever way you do it, you can have it to where you see this beautiful Alpine logo right on the edge. So this thing looks great. It sounds amazing, and it gives you great output just by pulling this thing out of the box and putting it in your car, right? So a great way to put bass into your car very easily. And it gives you premium output and premium sound in a very shallow enclosure. So there you have it. You have our R-Series shallow raw drivers and our R-Series shallow enclosures. The enclosures come in 10 and 12, and they're a 2 ohm load, right? So again, it would work perfect with our R2 A75M amplifier. All right, so there you go, R-Series shallow. Thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to hear your stories about how great these sound in your car. Until we talk again, have a great day.